For most of human history, the idea of living to 100 was the stuff of myth and legend, a rare feat achieved by a lucky few. Today, however, we stand at a remarkable crossroads. Advances in medicine, sanitation, and our understanding of the human body have dramatically extended our average lifespan. We are living longer than any generation before us, a true triumph of modern science. But this newfound longevity brings with it a new, and perhaps more important, question. It is no longer just about how many years we can add to our lives, but about how much life we can add to those years. We are beginning to realize that a long life is not necessarily a good life if those extra years are spent in poor health, battling chronic illness and frailty. This shift in thinking is at the heart of a revolution in how we approach aging. We are moving away from a reactive model of medicine, where we simply treat diseases as they appear, towards a proactive one. The goal now is to prevent those diseases from taking hold in the first place, to maintain our vitality, our strength, and our cognitive function for as long as possible. This is where the exciting field of biohacking comes in. It might sound like something from a science fiction film, but at its core, it is simply about using science and data to make smarter, more informed decisions about our own health. It's about taking control of our biology to steer it towards a better, healthier future. The wonderful news is that you do not need to be a scientist or a millionaire to start biohacking your own health. The most powerful tools for longevity are surprisingly simple and accessible to all of us. They are not found in expensive clinics or complicated protocols, but in our daily habits. Media group, fresh fruits and vegetables on table, group fitness class for seniors, elderly man making bed in morning a stock, distribute. Equally, the food we eat, the way we move, how well we sleep, and how we manage stress. By understanding the fundamental processes that drive aging, we can make small, sustainable changes that have a profound impact over time. It is a journey of self-discovery, where you become the lead investigator in the fascinating experiment that is your own body, learning what works for you. In this essay, we will embark on that journey together. We will explore why the concept of a long, healthy life, what scientists call an extended health span, is now a realistic goal for many. We will demystify the biological reasons we age and uncover the simple, evidence-based strategies you can use to slow down that process. From the importance of a good night's sleep to the potential of intermittent fasting and the helpful role of modern technology, we will unlock the secrets to not just living longer, but living better. The power to shape your future health is, to a remarkable degree, in your hands, and it starts today with the very next choice you make. For decades, the primary measure of success in public health was lifespan, the total number of years a person lives. We celebrated every increase in life expectancy as a monumental achievement, and rightly so. Preventing infectious diseases and improving infant mortality rates allowed millions more people to reach old age. Yet, as we have successfully extended the finish line of life, we have inadvertently created a new challenge. We have become very good at keeping people alive, but we have been less successful at keeping them healthy. There is a growing gap between our total lifespan and what we now call our health span, which is the period of our lives spent in good health, free from chronic disease and disability. Imagine two people who both live to be 90 years old. The first person spends their last 15 years in and out of hospitals, managing multiple chronic conditions, with limited mobility and cognitive decline. The second person, however, remains active, engaged, and independent until their final months. They both had the same lifespan, but their health spans were dramatically different. This is the crucial distinction we must now focus on. The ultimate goal is not simply to be the last person standing, but to enjoy the journey, to be able to play with your grandchildren, travel, learn new skills, and contribute to your community well into your 80s and 90s. A long health span is the true prize of modern medicine. This focus on health span requires a fundamental shift in our personal health philosophy. It asks us to think about our health not as something to be fixed when it breaks, but as a garden to be tended to every single day. The small decisions we make, choosing the stairs over the lift, having a salad instead of a burger, going to bed an hour earlier, are the seeds we plant for a vibrant future. Choosing the stairs over the lift, having a salad instead of a burger, going to bed an hour earlier. These actions may not seem significant in the moment, but they compound over time, building a foundation of resilience that can protect us from the ravages of age-related decline. It is about investing in your future self with the same diligence you would apply to your financial pension. So, the question to ask yourself is not just, do I want to live longer, but how do I want to live my longer life? Do you envision a future where you are full of energy and vitality, or one defined by limitations and dependence? The wonderful thing is that science is showing us that we have a significant amount of control over the answer. While our genes certainly play a role, our lifestyle choices are incredibly powerful drivers of our health outcomes. By prioritizing your health span, you are not just aiming to survive, you are aiming to thrive. You are choosing a future filled with more activity, more joy, and more life in your years. One of the most insidious challenges in our quest for a long health span is the way that many chronic diseases develop. Conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and even some forms of dementia do not simply appear overnight. They are not like a sudden infection that announces itself with a fever and cough. Instead, they creep up on us silently, over many years, even decades. They are the result of a slow, gradual accumulation of damage within our bodies, often with no obvious symptoms in the early stages. This silent progression is what makes them so dangerous, as by the time we feel sick, the underlying problem is often well established and much harder to reverse. Think of it like a slow leak in the plumbing of your house. For a long time, the water drips unnoticed behind a wall, slowly rotting the wood and fostering mold. You are completely unaware of the damage being done until one day, the wall feels damp, a strange smell appears, or the structure itself begins to fail. The same process happens with chronic illness. For example, your blood sugar levels might be creeping up for years, putting you into a state known as pre-diabetes. You feel perfectly fine, but inside your body, the high sugar is quietly damaging your blood vessels, nerves, and organs. It is only when the damage becomes significant that you might start to experience symptoms like excessive thirst, fatigue, or blurred vision. This is precisely why proactive monitoring and early action are so critical. We cannot afford to wait until we feel unwell to start paying attention to our health. Regular health checks, including blood tests for markers like cholesterol, blood sugar, what we call HbA1c, and inflammation, can act as an early warning system. They allow us to see what is happening behind the wall long before the symptoms manifest. Catching elevated blood sugar in the pre-diabetic stage, for instance, gives you a golden opportunity. At this point, the condition is often entirely reversible through simple lifestyle changes like diet and exercise. Waiting until you have full-blown type 2 diabetes makes the challenge significantly greater. Understanding this principle is empowering. It means we are not helpless victims of fate, waiting for a diagnosis to be handed down to us. We can be proactive detectives, looking for clues and taking corrective action at the earliest possible moment. It transforms our relationship with our doctor from a crisis manager to a health partner. The goal of a checkup should not be just to find out if you are sick, but to find out how you can stay well. By addressing the subtle signs of dysfunction early, we can stop these silent diseases in their tracks and keep them from ever robbing us of our precious health span. For centuries, aging was considered an inevitable mystery, a process that simply happened to us without any clear explanation. Today, thanks to incredible scientific progress, we are beginning to understand the fundamental biological mechanisms that drive it. Scientists have identified several key processes, often called the hallmarks of aging, that occur at a cellular and molecular level. These are the internal clocks that tick away inside us, contributing to the gradual decline we associate with getting older. The good news is that while we cannot stop these clocks entirely, we have discovered that their speed is not fixed. Our lifestyle choices can significantly influence how quickly or slowly they tick. One of the primary hallmarks is DNA damage. Our DNA is the instruction manual for our entire body, and it is constantly under attack from both internal and external sources, such as metabolic byproducts and environmental toxins. Our cells have amazing repair systems, but over time, they become less efficient. Small errors accumulate in our genetic code, like typos in a book, leading to cellular dysfunction. Another key process involves our mitochondria, the tiny power plants within our cells. As we age, our mitochondria can become damaged and less effective at producing energy, leading to the fatigue and reduced physical capacity often seen in older age. It is like a city's power grid slowly failing, causing brownouts across different neighborhoods. Another fascinating aspect of aging involves telomeres. These are the protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, often compared to the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, these telomeres get a tiny bit shorter. Eventually, they become so short that the cell can no longer divide safely and enters a state of senescence, or zombie-like retirement. These senescent cells linger in our tissues, releasing inflammatory signals that can damage surrounding healthy cells. Finally, chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, is a common thread that runs through nearly all age-related diseases. It is like a constant, simmering fire throughout the body that accelerates damage to our organs and tissues. The crucial takeaway from all this science is that these processes are not happening in a vacuum. They are all deeply interconnected and heavily influenced by our daily habits. For example, a poor diet high in processed sugar and unhealthy fats can increase DNA damage and fuel inflammation. A lack of physical activity can impair mitochondrial function. Chronic stress and poor sleep have been shown to accelerate telomere shortening. Conversely, a healthy lifestyle does the opposite. Good nutrition provides the building blocks for DNA repair, exercise builds new mitochondria, and managing stress protects our telomeres. We are not just passive observers of our aging, we are active participants who can slow the ticking of these biological clocks. While the science of aging can seem complex, the practical steps to promote a long and healthy life are, honestly, wonderfully straightforward. You do not need a laboratory or a PhD to implement the most powerful anti-aging strategies known to science. They are built upon 5 simple pillars that form the foundation of good health at any age. The first, and arguably most underrated, is sleep. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a non-negotiable biological necessity. During deep sleep, our body and brain perform critical housekeeping tasks. The brain clears out metabolic waste products that accumulate during the day, including proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Our cells repair DNA, our hormones are regulated, and our immune system is recharged. Consistently skimping on sleep is like trying to run a city without a nighttime cleaning crew. Sooner or later, the system breaks down. The second pillar is movement. Our bodies were designed to move, not to sit in chairs for 8 to 10 hours a day. Regular physical activity is a potent medicine with a multitude of benefits for healthy aging. It strengthens our muscles and bones, which protects against frailty and falls. It improves cardiovascular health, lowering blood pressure and improving circulation. Crucially, exercise stimulates the growth of new mitochondria, our cellular power plants, keeping our energy levels high. It also has profound effects on the brain, boosting blood flow and encouraging the growth of new neurons. The key is consistency, not necessarily intensity. A brisk daily walk can be just as beneficial as running a marathon if you do it every day. Third, we must learn to manage stress. In the modern world, many of us live in a state of chronic, low-level stress. Our ancient fight or flight response, designed to save us from immediate physical threats, is now constantly activated by work deadlines, traffic jams, and financial worries. This perpetual state of alert floods our bodies with stress hormones like cortisol, which, over time, can accelerate telomere shortening, promote inflammation, increase blood pressure, and disrupt our sleep. Finding healthy ways to switch off this response is vital. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply spending time in nature can have a profound calming effect on our nervous system and protect our bodies from the corrosive effects of chronic stress. Finally, the fourth and fifth pillars are nutrition and proactive health monitoring. What you put on your plate is one of the most powerful levers you have to control your health. A diet rich in whole foods, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats provides the antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals your body needs to fight inflammation and repair cellular damage. Conversely, a diet high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats does the opposite, actively promoting the aging process. This goes hand in hand with regular health checks. Knowing your key numbers, like your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar, allows you to see the impact of your lifestyle choices in real time and make adjustments before small issues become big problems. Together, these 5 pillars create a powerful synergy that slows aging and builds a resilient foundation for a long health span. Beyond the foundational pillars of lifestyle, scientists are exploring some truly fascinating new frontiers that could one day further enhance our health span. While many of these are still in the early stages of research, they offer a tantalizing glimpse into the future of medicine. It is important to approach these with a healthy dose of curiosity, mixed with caution, as much is still to be learned. One of the most talked about concepts is intermittent fasting, or time-restricted eating. This is not about what you eat, but when you eat. The basic idea is to compress your eating window into a certain number of hours each day, for instance, 8 hours, and fast for the remaining 16. The science behind this is compelling. During the fasting period, your body switches from burning sugar for fuel to burning fat. More importantly, it triggers a cellular cleanup process called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. During autophagy, your cells identify and clear out old damaged components, including dysfunctional mitochondria and misfolded proteins. It is like a deep cleaning service for your cells, recycling waste and making everything more efficient. This process is thought to combat many of the hallmarks of aging. Many people, myself included, find that simply extending the overnight fast to 12 or 14 hours is an easy and effective way to dip a toe into these potential benefits without extreme effort. Another area of intense research revolves around a molecule called NAD+, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD+ is a crucial coenzyme found in every cell in our body, essential for energy metabolism and DNA repair. Think of it as the spark plug that helps our mitochondria generate energy. The problem is that our levels of NAD+ decline significantly as we age, falling by as much as 50% by middle age. This decline is thought to be a major driver of the aging process. Scientists are now investigating whether we can boost our NAD+ levels through supplements containing precursors like NMN or NR. While human studies are still ongoing, the initial results in animal models have been very promising, showing improvements in energy, metabolism, and overall health span. Finally, the field of regenerative medicine, particularly stem cell therapy, holds immense promise. Stem cells are the body's master cells, with the remarkable ability to develop into many different cell types. As we age, the number and function of our own stem cells decline, impairing our ability to repair and regenerate tissues. The idea behind stem cell therapy is to introduce new, healthy stem cells into the body to help repair damaged organs, reduce inflammation, and rejuvenate aging tissues. This field is still very new and largely experimental, with many unproven and expensive treatments being offered. However, as the science matures, it could one day offer powerful new ways to reverse damage and restore youthful function, truly transforming how we treat age-related conditions. In our quest to understand and improve our own biology, we now have a powerful new allied technology: A decade ago, measuring key health metrics required a visit to a doctor's clinic or a laboratory. Today, an astonishing amount of data can be collected from the comfort of your own home, often through devices worn on your wrist. Wearable fitness trackers and smartwatches have evolved from simple step counters into sophisticated health companions. They can monitor your heart rate continuously, track the quality and stages of your sleep, measure your activity levels, and even estimate your blood oxygen levels. This provides a continuous stream of personal data that was previously unimaginable. This technology allows you to become the scientist of your own health. For instance, you might notice that when you have a glass of wine late in the evening, your sleep quality score plummets and your resting heart rate increases. This is direct personal feedback showing how a specific behavior impacts your physiology. Perhaps you decide to try meditating for 10 minutes before bed and see a measurable improvement in your deep sleep duration. This data transforms vague wellness advice into concrete, personalized experiments. It closes the feedback loop, allowing you to see the cause and effect relationship between your choices and your body's response, which can be an incredibly powerful motivator for positive change. Beyond wearables, the ecosystem of health technology is rapidly expanding. Continuous glucose monitors, once reserved for people with diabetes, are now being used by health-conscious individuals to see how different foods affect their blood sugar in real time. You might be shocked to discover that a healthy bowl of oatmeal sends your blood sugar soaring, while a different meal does not. Smart scales can track not just your weight, but also your body composition, including muscle mass and body fat percentage, giving you a much more meaningful picture of your health than a single number. There are even apps that can analyze your stress levels through your phone's camera by measuring subtle changes in your heart rate variability. This democratization of health data is empowering. It shifts the dynamic from being a passive recipient of medical advice to an active participant in your own wellness journey. You can go to your doctor armed with weeks of data on your sleep patterns or blood pressure readings, leading to a much more informed and productive conversation. These devices act as your personal health dashboard, providing early warnings and tracking your progress over time. They help you connect the dots between how you live and how you feel, making the invisible processes within your body visible. This newfound awareness is the first and most critical step towards making meaningful, lasting improvements to your health. While the rise of health technology is incredibly exciting, it is crucial to maintain a balanced perspective. These gadgets are powerful tools, but they are not magic wands. A smartwatch can tell you that you slept poorly, but it cannot tuck you into bed at a reasonable hour. A continuous glucose monitor can show you that a donut spiked your blood sugar, but it cannot stop you from eating it. Technology is a fantastic source of information and motivation, but it is not a substitute for the hard work of building and maintaining healthy habits. The data is only useful if it leads to a change in behavior. The real magic happens not in the device, but in the daily choices you make based on the information it provides. There is a real danger of becoming obsessed with the data itself, a phenomenon sometimes called the quantified self-rabbit hole. Some people can get so focused on achieving a perfect sleep score or closing their activity rings that they generate more stress, which ironically harms their health. The goal is not to achieve perfect numbers every single day, but to understand the trends and make gradual, sustainable improvements. The technology should serve you, not the other way around. It is a guide, a companion on your journey, but you are still the one who has to walk the path. True health is not found on a screen. It is forged in the kitchen, in the gym, on your walking path, and on your pillow. Furthermore, we must remember that these devices are not infallible medical instruments. While they are becoming increasingly accurate, there can still be discrepancies, and they should not be used to self-diagnose conditions. If your wearable device flags a potential issue, like an irregular heart rhythm, its role is to prompt you to see a medical professional for a proper evaluation, not to replace that professional. The ultimate authority on your health should always be a qualified doctor who can interpret your personal data within the broader context of your overall medical history and a physical examination. Technology provides the what, but a doctor helps you understand the why and what to do next. Ultimately, the most powerful biohacking tools remain timeless and require no batteries. The discipline to choose whole foods over processed junk, the commitment to move your body every day, the wisdom to prioritize sleep, and the mindfulness to manage stress are the bedrock of a long and healthy life. Technology can support and enhance these efforts, but it can never replace them. Think of it this way. A high-tech oven can help you bake a better cake, but it is useless if you are using poor quality ingredients. In the recipe for a long health span, your daily habits are the essential ingredients and technology is simply a helpful kitchen gadget. We are living in a truly remarkable time for human health. The conversation around aging is no longer one of inevitable decline, but one of possibility and empowerment. Science has peeled back the curtain, revealing the fundamental biological processes that drive aging and, crucially, showing us how our own actions can influence their speed. We have learned that the goal is not merely to extend our lifespan, but to expand our health span, to live as many of our years as possible with vitality, strength, and joy. This is not a distant dream, but a tangible reality that is within our grasp, built upon a foundation of proactive, informed choices. We have seen that many of the chronic diseases that shorten our health span begin their work silently, years before symptoms appear. This knowledge transforms our perspective, urging us to move from a reactive stance to a proactive one. By understanding the hallmarks of aging, from DNA damage to mitochondrial decay, we can see that these are not abstract concepts, but processes directly affected by how we live. The power to slow these processes lies not in a mythical fountain of youth, but in the simple, consistent application of foundational health pillars: restorative sleep, daily movement, mindful stress management, and nourishing food. These are the levers that truly matter. The new frontiers of science, from intermittent fasting and NAD+ boosters to the promise of regenerative medicine, offer exciting possibilities for the future. And the technology in our pockets and on our wrists gives us an unprecedented ability to monitor our own biology, turning vague wellness goals into concrete, data-driven actions. Yet, as we embrace these new tools, we must remember that they are aids, not answers. They support, but do not replace, the fundamental importance of our daily habits. The most sophisticated health tracker is no match for the simple, conscious decision to take a walk after dinner or to turn off screens an hour before bed. The journey to a longer, healthier life is not about finding a single shortcut or a magic pill. It is about taking 1,000 small steps. It is a marathon, not a sprint, built on consistency and patience. Every healthy meal you eat, every good night's sleep you get, every moment of stress you consciously release is an investment in your future. You are sending a message to your body, providing it with the resources it needs to repair, to regenerate, and to thrive for decades to come. The power to shape a healthier, more vibrant future is in your hands. Start today, and your future self will be profoundly grateful.